It's the next day and the bread has been sitting out overnight. It should sound nice and crusty. We'll see if we can get this on camera. So it's nice and hard and ready for French toast. So the next step is for us to make our custard mixture. Here are our ingredients for French toast. We have whole milk. You can make it even more delicious by using half and half or heavy cream. Vanilla extract, cinnamon, a dash of nutmeg, but you don't have to put that in there, and eggs. Since I have a lot of bread, I'm going to be starting off with 5 eggs. I'm going to add a little over 2 cups of milk. I don't really have much of a recipe for this because I've been making French toast since probably before I was your all ages. So I kind of just eyeball a lot of stuff. About a teaspoon of vanilla, a whole bunch of cinnamon, and just a dash of nutmeg. The next step is going to be to whip this all together. There's this really cool pattern in the milk where the spices and vanilla went in. I just wanted to zoom in on that. It's kind of neat. All right, you want to make sure that it is all blended through just like this. This may look like a lot of mixture, but the French toast is going to soak up a lot of this. I put it in a shallow bowl so that it's easier. I could soak 2 pieces at once. A lot of times when I was younger and I'd make French toast, I would always run out of the egg mixture and I'd have to make more partway through. So I always try to err on the side of having a little extra egg mixture. Now we are ready to start soaking. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of my bread and put them in my egg mixture, and I'm going to let them soak for probably like 30 seconds to a minute on each side. It's really hard and you want it to soak up all of that custard so your French toast is nice and creamy. So it's been almost a minute. Let's check how the French toast is doing. Although I've been saying French toast, at this point it is not French toast, but it's getting closer. If I flip it over, you can see that now it's a lot squishier. So it soaked up some of that custard mixture. So I'm going to flip over both pieces. And again, I'm going to wait another 30 seconds to a minute. And you can see that because we dry this bread out overnight, it's really soaking it up like a sponge and it's not just falling apart. Again, if you use fresh bread, this is going to turn really mushy. If you don't have time to cut your bread up overnight and let it dry out, you can always cut it and put it in the oven for a few minutes at a low temperature just to dry it out. The other side has been soaking for a while, so I'm going to take it out. You can feel that the top side is a lot mushier now. I noticed that once you flip it, this side doesn't get quite as mushy, but it will eventually soak through. And something that I like to do is I'll drizzle a little bit of this mixture on top so it can continue to soak through. So now I'm going to add 2 more slices and continue my soaking and flipping until I've gone through all of my pieces of dried bread. I have only done 4 pieces of bread and my mixture is really low. So if you're going to make this at home, don't forget to just add more mixture as you need to. I have the last of my bread soaking. So at this point, you want to set your oven so that'll be at 375. And I also have a large cast iron pan heating up to medium heat right now. If you're not using cast iron, you're not going to have to preheat your pan for as long. All of my bread pieces are finally done soaking. I actually need to get another plate because this loaf really broke down into a lot. You'll see that some pieces have a little less cinnamon than others. So I'm going to add some China cinnamon. There's actually a lot of different variations of cinnamon out there. I like this one. It can be described as rich, spicy, strong, and sweet. And it's really good for cinnamon rolls, which I plan on making in the future. So I'm going to be just adding this to give it a little extra nice flavor. It's time to start actually making and frying the French toast. So first I'm going to add a little butter to the pan. Spread it around. And now I'm going to add some of my French toast. I'm putting it the cinnamon side down. And I will let it cook for 3 minutes on each side. It's been 3 minutes and it's time to flip these over. Before I flip them over, I'm going to add a little bit more of my cinnamon to each piece. And then I'm going to flip and let them cook for another 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes, so let's take a peek and see if these are ready to come off, which they look nice and golden, so I'm going to take them off. I have another sheet pan where I'm putting these on because eventually these are all going to go in the oven so they finish at the same time. I'm now going to add a little more butter to my pan. And add 3 more pieces of French toast. All of the pieces of French toast have now been browned on each side. So now I'm going to place it in a 375-degree oven for 5 minutes. This will help poof them up and make sure the custard in the middle is cooked through. Okay, ready to take the French toast out of the oven. Looks delicious. The last thing that we have to do is just pour some warm maple syrup on top. I can't wait to eat this.